Hello and good day to all friends. I am Majtaba Rosti from the Thales team, and today, November 17th, 2025, I am here with you to analyze Bitcoin using the Thales Market Screener tool. Please note that these analyses are for educational and informational purposes only, and if you use them to take positions in the market, the responsibility for any profit or loss is entirely your own. Alright, let's go to the Thales application and take a look at the status of the options contracts. From the beginning of today up to this very moment, in the raw database and for tomorrow's expiration date, which is November 18th, as you can see, 4,614 Bitcoins have been traded in the form of 1,956 options contracts, which gives us a downward chart like this. If we turn on the delta, you can see that we are currently here around 94,600, and as you can see, moving upward. Actually, as the price decreases, our delta is increasing. In fact, this means we are seeing put selling, meaning traders are seeing a bottom for the market. The peak of this put selling is at 92,200, which is close to the CME Bitcoin gap in the Chicago Exchange, a very important spot. This gap will probably get filled here. If it holds as support, we could potentially bounce back up. You can also see that calls have been sold up to even 100,000 and 102,000, meaning traders have sold calls and are seeing a top for Bitcoin. If 92,000 or so doesn't hold as a peak, then you'll see a sharp drop in price along with a sharp decrease in delta, which actually shows the intensity of put buying by these traders. They've bought puts and are bearish. So we head toward the targets indicated by Gamma, aiming for 88,700. So if we break through 92,000, we could go for 90,000 and 88,000. At the top, you can see we have a very strong negative gamma, where the ticker here has sold calls at 96,500, which is basically the average ceiling traders are seeing. This was also seen a few hours ago, and we've gotten very close to it, coming up to 96,100. So this is the perspective we can have from these traders. As you can see, in two different boxes, buyers and sellers are separated, and their contracts have been filtered, and the premiums have been shown. You can see it shows a volatile situation. The upper consensus is at 97,000 and 97,600, and the lower consensus is at 91,600, and both are in the loss zone. So this is a volatile situation. You know, we've entered these points into our indicator, and these zones that have formed here, you can see, are from the intersection with the break-even line. These have been added to the chart, and the zones have formed like this. You can see the lower zone is a bit wider, and we're currently in the middle. We can still move a bit toward the top of this upper zone. If we turn on our indicator, we can see the consensus points that have been entered into the indicator. These consensus points that have been entered into the indicator show the expected top and bottom for tomorrow. If you move downward, both our top and bottom have dropped compared to yesterday. What is expected for tomorrow is actually, although here on the 4-hour chart you can see divergence. You can see divergence in the RSI and price. So now we'll also look at the micro trades to see what the short-term movement might be. If we look at the micro trades for tomorrow, there are 4,614 Bitcoin options traded, of which 2,137 are actually option buys. Out of these, only 741 are call buys and 1,396 are put buys, so put buying is clearly dominant. And what is their target? Their target is 91,800 and below, meaning they're aiming for around 92,000. As for call buyers, you can see they're targeting 97,300 and above. In this bullish leg, these call buys are being realized, and it's possible that the price could go a bit higher, up to 97,000. There's a chance the price could rise a little more, and you can see here that the RSI is still on its moving average. After this, we might move downward. Of course, another scenario is that we start moving down from right where we are now, but I still think there's a chance for a bit more liquidity grab up to 97,000. We could go a bit higher and then move down toward 92,000. In the micro options, the dominance is still with call buying. Sellers have sold 2,477 Bitcoins, of which 1,360 Bitcoins are call sales and 1,116 Bitcoins are put sales. Most of the call sales are because they see a ceiling for the price. The ceiling they see for the price is around 96,400. So here, roughly from here to here, they estimated that the price would go up. So maybe, surprisingly, this has already happened, and the price could go up a bit more, and after that, move downward. But, well, the sellers have more or less set their ceiling. And as for the put sellers, the floor that the put sellers have in mind is 93,400. 93,400, which we got very close to on the shadow of this candle. So overall, for the coming day, the tendency is more toward a downward move, toward 92,000. All right, let's look at the larger contracts that have been processed in the database. For tomorrow, we have 1,943 contracts of 5 Bitcoins and above. Here, we're adjusting the size and checking contracts above 18 Bitcoins. You can see that we have about 892 Bitcoins in contracts above 18 Bitcoins. There are a few strategies we can identify here that could be valuable. Look, here we have a strategy worth 400 Bitcoins, which is really interesting. 400 Bitcoins. This strategy is a bullish spread, meaning the trader is predicting an upward move, but this upward move has a ceiling, a maximum. The ceiling for this bullish move is 99,000. The ceiling for this bullish move is 99,000. But the point here is that it seems the trader has actually given up the base leg of the call buy in this strategy. Here, it's been squared off, given up. Maybe they've lost interest in a move up to this extent, meaning they see less chance of it reaching 99, and they've kept the 99 call sell. They've kept the 99 call sell, which seems more logical. So another strategy we can find here, let's see. Another strategy we can find here worth, let me check. Well, aside from that strategy, apparently there weren't any other strategies. We have some individual block trades worth 25 Bitcoins, and as you can see, most of these 25 Bitcoin blocks are also short calls, short call 99s. Here we have 3 short call 99s. Here there's a set of 25 short call 96s. Here there's a 25 Bitcoin short call 95. And again, here we have 3 more. Short call, actually short put, 92, 1, 2, and 4. Sorry, 92, 2, 91, and 90. Altogether, 75 Bitcoins have been put on these strikes, meaning they've seen the bottom in these areas, which is interesting in itself. If we look at liquidity over the past 48 hours, we see that on the upside, we have liquidity up to 97,500, which could be hunted, and then we might move toward the lower liquidity at 93,200. So, based on the analysis we've done, and as you've seen, sellers of calls have set a ceiling at 97, 96, 500, but with the current candlestick I'm seeing, the chance of reaching that is lower now. Still, we'll keep this in mind, that there's a possibility of seeing this area and then moving downward. But overall, for the coming days, it seems that the target is 92,000 and filling the CME gap is one of our goals. Thanks for your attention, and I hope this was helpful.